Want to learn all about having direct access to the unmanifested. That is what I'm talking about in this video. Welcome everyone. I am your Muse Tracy. I am your favorite manifestation coach. I am here to inspire you and empower you to live the life of your dreams, to create on purpose exactly what you want in all areas of your life, to stop settling and to stop suffering. You are not here to suffer. If that sounds good to you, you are more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. I offer one-on-one coaching and I also offer group coaching. In my coaching program, we take a deep dive into your subconscious programming or your belief system, and we do the work to change the programming that is effectively masking and covering up your true nature, which I want to be clear, your true nature is a powerful, unlimited creator. So I'm not really teaching you how to manifest. You are masterful at manifesting. Just taking away, in the coaching program, we're just taking away some layers that, are sort of you've misidentified with. You have mistaken identity with these layers. So I will take you through the process of identifying and changing the programming. I'll also teach you how to integrate the creator belief system, release stored emotions from the past, as well as teaching you to honor and process your emotions on an ongoing basis, which is so important and so overlooked in the manifesting, space. As well as much, much more. We meet 2 to 3 times per week. In between sessions, you also have email access to me, and it's an intensive month designed to create real transformation in all areas of your life. This is really for you if you want to move past one-off coaching sessions that are sort of a kind of emergency type thing, and really a band-aid for cycles that keep repeating over and over and over and over, right? So I want to help you move past all of that, because that is a form of suffering. And I've created this program to create real transformation in every area of your life and return you back to your true nature of being an effortless and unlimited creator. Most of my clients will stay 2 to 3 months. Some will stay shorter, some longer. It's always up to you. You get to choose how much support and guidance you would like to have. Either way, my clients come out of the program transformed and back in their ability to create everything they desire. They stop struggling, they stop suffering, and they finally understand how to apply all the manifesting knowledge that they've been consuming for years and years and years. So if you're interested, you can find more information and all of the links in the description. You can send me an email, leave me a comment. I will be happy to get back to you. All right, you guys. So in this video, I'm excited to do this video. I read The Power of Now years ago, but I have recently revisited it, and this chapter stood out to me, and that's what I'm talking all about in this video today. So this is directly inspired from Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now, the book. If you've never read it, it's a great book. I highly recommend it. And these portals into the unmanifested he spends a whole chapter talking about these things, and that's what I want to expand on in this video. So let's get right into it. There's 4 main. He does talk about some other things as he goes along in the chapter, but I'm going to expand on the 4 main portals into the unmanifested in this video. And so let's just get right into it. So the first portal into the unmanifested, which let's just take a moment to clear up what is meant by that. So basically, he's referring to, I guess, what you would call potentiality, right? Creation is finished, but we only see a small portion of that in our, day-to-day lives and with our 5 senses. We can only experience a small portion of that. And so we refer to that as the manifested. And then all the other options that do exist is what he's referring to as the unmanifested. And I actually like that terminology. Well, if you think about it in this way, because he's kind of alluding to the point that Neville talks about, which is you're not creating anything. It's just what we would consider unmanifested because it's not yet visible. and we can't yet experience it with our five senses. So he's referring to it as unmanifested, right? So the first portal into the unmanifested is, not surprisingly, I guess, with the title of the book, the now moment. The now moment. So bringing yourself back into the now moment. In other words, I guess in a more simplistic way, practicing presence, not having your mind, thinking off into the future, planning for the future, contemplating about the future, and also not having your mind dwelling on the past, ruminating over the past, figuring out the past, assigning meaning to the past, not being in either one of these places, but being in the now moment and being very present and in the now moment with your thoughts, with your mind, and with your consciousness. This, he describes in the book, is one of the portals into the unmanifested. So let me also expand on what he means by a portal into the unmanifested. He's basically talking about ways of allowing, right? It's not that you keep thinking about the thing that you want. You have to keep thinking about it, thinking. A lot of times you have to let it go in terms of your thoughts and allow it to show up in your reality. And this is really what he's talking about with these portals. So when you bring your mind back to the now moment, you bring your mind into the presence, you are in a state of allowing. This is a portal into the unmanifested. It can show up when you're practicing presence and staying in the now moment, not projecting out into the future, not going back into the past. Okay, let's go on to number two. Number two is, and he talks a lot more about this in the book. I'm not going to dive super deep into it in this video because I want to get on to the other ones, but he calls it the inner body. And what he means is, like, a lot of times we have awareness of the outside of our body. We can feel the clothes on our body. We can feel, maybe air or temperature. We can feel touch. That's sort of the outer body. But in one of the ways to bring your mind into the present moment is to become aware of the inner body, the inner sensations of your body, right? Trying to connect with the inner body is another portal into the unmanifested. And you can see why. Again, he very much, I think when he expands on it, talks about how this is one of the ways of being more present. So some of the ways that you can do this is by trying to sense the sensations that are happening in the inner body, trying to, be aware of your lungs as you're breathing, expanding and contracting. Be aware of your blood and your heart pumping throughout your body. Be aware of what is going on and try to connect with and literally sense the inner workings of your body. And in doing this, again, this is a portal into the unmanifested, one of the portals. Okay, let's go on to number 3. This one is disidentifying with the mind. And I love this one because you are not your mind. And identifying with your mind or with your thoughts is a source of suffering. It can be a source of suffering. And when you realize that your thoughts are just a thing, even your mind is part of your physical body. You are not your mind, and thoughts come from the mind typically. So you are not your mind, you are not your thoughts. You are the consciousness, you are the awareness. If you can be aware of something, you are not it. You are the observer, you're the consciousness, the awareness of your thoughts. And when you have that sort of disidentification with the thoughts and the mind can do its thing, whatever it's doing, and because you're not identified with it, it doesn't create suffering. The mind can create suffering when we think we are our mind, when we think we are our thoughts. That identification with the mind can create suffering. Doesn't have to, but it typically does quite a lot. So if you're not your mind, then what are you? Well, you are a soul. You are a non-physical being. Part of that non-physical being is incarnated into your physical body, but you are not your body, right? When you perish, when you are no longer in this physical body, your body is going to remain, but there's something that leaves the body, right? That's what you truly are. And so you are not your mind, because your mind is part of the physical body. And so you don't want to identify with that. You are so much more than that. You are so much more than your physical body and your mind. So you want to try to create disidentification with the mind, because then you can observe the mind, the chatter, the thoughts, whatever is going on. There's different things that go on in the mind. It's not just one thing, but whatever is going on in the mind, you can disidentify with it. And this, he identifies, is another portal into the unmanifested. So you can sit back, know that you're the consciousness, know that you're the awareness, know that you're an infinite being, and you can observe the thoughts. And when you disidentify with the thoughts, you have a greater power to decide what to do with your thoughts. When I mentioned this in one of my recent videos, you don't have to believe every thought that you have. You get to choose. But if you're identified with the mind, you will more easily believe every thought that you have. But when you create this disidentification with the mind, you have more of an ability to decide, what are you going to do with that thought? You're not that thought. So do you want to believe the thought? You can, if you want to, but you can also not believe the thought if you want to, right? You see how you can more easily do that? You can more easily make that call, make that decision according to what is your preference when you don't think you are the thought. When you think you are the thought, when you're identified with the mind or identified with the thoughts, then you tend to be, more, what's the word I want to find here? More trapped by the thoughts, or more, entangled in the thoughts. It's not really the word I want exactly here, but hopefully this is making sense. Become disidentified with the mind. You are not your mind. And when you do that, you have a greater ability to just observe and also quiet the mind. Trying to stop thinking. And a lot of these things are like, they're almost interchangeable. But because being in the now, if you're in the now, you have so much greater ability to stop thinking. When you're focused on your inner body, you can stop thinking. And when you're disidentified with your mind, you also can experience a quieter mind, right? So let's go on to number 4, which is my favorite. Number 4 is surrender, letting go of what is. The stronger the feeling of separateness, the more you are actually cut off from the unmanifested. So letting go of what is understanding that, again, you're not identified with what is. You don't have to become over-identified with what's currently showing up. You can surrender. You can completely surrender and let it be there. Just let it be. And understanding that there is no separation between you and what you want. And, there's this whole concept of the what is and the what is not are inextricably tied. They are not separate. And so you are not separate from what it is that you desire to experience. even if the absence of what you want to experience is what is showing up. The what is and the what is not are inextricably tied. That is the realm that we live in, the realm of duality and polarity. I've done another video on this all about explaining this as well. They are two ends of the same stick, you can call it, right? They're inextricably tied. You cannot break this. They are one and the same. So even if you are, if what is the absence of your desire, you are not separate from your desire. So you surrender to the what is. You just let it be there. You accept, because you understand that there is no separation between you and what it is that you desire to experience. And in this surrender and in this letting go of what is, you are creating a portal into the unmanifested. You are allowing the unmanifested to become manifested. Because what you resist persists, right? I'm going to do a deep dive video on this, because I think it could be expanded on for a whole video. And I think I probably mention it in every single video. It's super important to remember, because, and myself included, I've been guilty of this in the past, like holding on so tight, thinking that I had to hold on to get what I wanted. And, that is a form of resistance. Holding on is resistance. Surrender, letting go, is dropping all resistance. And it's a form of allowing, and it's a portal into the unmanifested, as he's talking about, as Eckhart Tolle is talking about in this chapter and in this book. So those are the four, and let's recap. The now moment, being in the now moment, connecting with your inner body, disidentifying with the mind and quieting the mind. And number 4 is surrender, letting go of what is. Now, you can use all of these, but you only need one. And I love this part of the book, this part of the chapter, because I think this is a common misconception that people get a little bit tied up in their manifesting journey and trying to consciously create what they want. They think they have to do all the things. You don't. You just need one way of allowing. You just need one portal into the unmanifested. So out of these 4, maybe there's some that resonate with you, and maybe there's some that don't resonate with you. There's some that you find very easy to connect with, and some that you struggle with. Well, the ones you struggle with, you don't have to do those. You don't need all of them. Just pick one. Pick the one that is easy for you, the one that you find is natural for you, the one that happens, you can really step into and master it. So you do not need all 4. Just pick one. You can use all of them, but you don't have to. Okay? That's the point I'm trying to make here. Pick one that resonates and you find easy, and just do that one. That's your portal into the unmanifested. And I also want to add this in because it was another really enlightening part of this chapter. Someone asked, is love a portal into the unmanifested? And he says it is not. He says love is what's there when you open the portal. So you are, you're not trying to find love or get love. You are, again, finding a way to allow the love that is already there to be there. So yeah, and this is what I'll leave you guys with. This, the presence of the unmanifested is everywhere, because it is not separate or missing from the manifested. The manifested and the unmanifested are inextricably tied. They cannot be separated. So the unmanifested is not missing. It's everywhere. It's already present. Creation is already finished. You are simply trying to find the portal into the unmanifested that's already there. It's already there. And really, he's using the word portal, but it's a form of allowing. You're just finding a way to allow the unmanifested to show up in your reality. That's what this is really all about. because you're not creating anything. Creation is finished. All right, you guys, really happy to make this video. I've wanted to make it for a while. So leave me a comment down below. Also submit a question for me. I'm going to be recording answers to questions once a week. And so I'd love to get your question and answer it for you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.